Hello creatives, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to illustrate using only one color. Today I chose pink because it just seems like a happy color. So I'm going to do a scenery illustration starting with the background, and then I created the little moon shape building that moon from two circles and added a freeform gradient to it. I did the same thing with the sky. They will change momentarily. And then I created this cloud out of 3 spheres and added a freeform gradient to it as well. You'll notice that the freeform gradient is kind of like one of my favorite types of gradients. So once we get the clouds done, let's move on to the mountains. Oh, by the way, you see all those colors to the right on the next artboard? There's a video that I did about that if you want to know how to create your own color stories, especially within one color. You can go ahead and click the little card up there. After creating the mountains, I then created the street. Yes, that is a street down there. I shape builded that out from 2 spheres as well, as you saw down there. And I just duplicated those clouds to surround the moon back there. I will be continuously changing the gradients and editing them throughout from the properties panel as I change the colors all the way around. Now this is all based from one color. I know you probably are seeing that there are different types of pinks and or purples, but within using one color, there are different tints and shades of each color. And I talk about this in the other video, Create Your Own Color Story. It is all based from this same color. As you can see, there are darker, less saturated tone, like shades, and then there are deeper, darker, more saturated shades of this same color, but it is all based from the same pink color. I created a little scenery here down here with all these little houses and buildings. There I am using that freeform gradient again. I really like it. I really enjoy it. It gives you so much more freedom. And I'm creating a lot of dimension with these lighter tints of that pink color. And that right there is a parking garage. Decided to create that. And then this is going to be the railing. I used a different gradient on the railing vertical supports. That is a linear gradient. And then I moved right into the freeform gradient for the rail, the dividing rail. That way you don't like fall off the edge. This was inspired from a trip I recently took, and I got to be on the side of like a hill / mountain, and we were driving down and we saw this deep valley of like a city with the mountains in the background, and I thought it was just so pretty, so I decided to illustrate that. With the clouds, I am applying a Gaussian blur to this, and you saw the settings there. I really wanted to make sure that they looked like fluffy and soft because there's a lot of clouds in the area that I pulled inspiration from, and I wanted to make them look really like whimsical. I am duplicating the same shapes over and over just to save on time because as you're seeing this, this is very much sped up. I am taking a lot of time to do this illustration. This took actually over 2 hours. So this did take quite a lot of time, especially with what I'm doing now with the pattern making. There is an easier way to do this. I just didn't do it that way. I did a longer route with this. I just duplicated the same triangle over and over and over, and then I excluded all the mini triangles from the main triangle, just like a little building accent topper, which I've been seeing a lot recently in cities. And I'm using the different tonal ranges of that color, the deep saturated dark color from the pink, and then the desaturated dark shade, and I'm layering them together so that they make more of contrast. Same with that really light tint of that pink color as well. It's coming together quite nicely. For the street, to make it look more like a street, I did do a brush. I did a border brush of dashed lines, as you saw there, and made it the lightest tint I could find that wasn't white from the pink color. And then a lot of this is just duplicating and replicating all the shapes that are already here. That's a big key thing. And then just making them a little bit more custom throughout. As you can see here with the windows that I'm creating, it's just basically all rectangle shapes, so squares and rectangles. And then I do duplicate that later on, just like I'm doing with some of these windows, which I applied an outer glow to, so it looks like they're lights are turned on. It's like a fun little trick. And some of the houses are different, some of them are not. I kept a lot of them uniform because they weren't the main focus of this illustration. The main focus is the skyscraper buildings, like the whole illustration frames around it. And now you want to make sure a lot of your shapes are put in position correctly and are lined up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can make a whole illustration using one color, and if you'd like to see anything else like this, please leave me a comment down below, and be sure to check out all the rest of my social channels, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!